Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good? Got a quick tip for if you're trying to quit your addiction, right? Now, this can go both ways, but I think it's a good tip, okay? Take work off. Take work off. Um, it's this is the thing. We get into these cycles, right? It's always the cycles in the psychology. It's always the cycles in the day. And you go to work, you wake up, you eat, you take a shower, you get ready, you go to work, you come home, then you smoke, then you eat. It's the cycle. So you have to break the cycles. One of the easiest ways to break the cycles is just to take a day off of work, and you deserve it. You deserve to take a day off of work, especially with the intention that you're not going to partake in your addiction, right? Because a lot of the addiction, a lot of it comes from compensation, right? A lot of it comes from compensation. You compensate for the stress that you have at work or school. It could be school too, and if that's the case, then you should just not be going to school. If you're in college, it's just, if it's giving you that much stress, then it's clearly not for you. But regardless of that, we compensate so much. Get into we go to work and we get stressed while we're at work, and you're there the whole time, and especially when you're stressed out, all you're thinking is, oh, I can't wait to be home and like get home and smoke or drink or whatever your addiction may be, right? So take a day off of work. You see me out here relaxing. There's no reason for me to be stressed, and there's no reason for me to want to smoke. Like, there's no reason. There's no reason right now. But when I go to work, especially if it's a long day, I'm good until maybe the last 2 hours or so, and then I'm like, oh man, can't wait to get home, can't wait to get home. And then you get home and it's been such a long day, you haven't been able to do anything fun, you've been stressed out, so now you have to compensate, right? You have to compensate for these emotions, and then you smoke. And it's just funny because we go to work to get money to compensate for the emotions that we give off at work. If we just didn't go to work in the first place, we wouldn't need so many things. If you need to work so much, like if you need to work 40 hours a week, and that's what you need to do, if you're working for your passion, that's a completely different story. But if you're just working working for another person to get money, and you need to work for like 40 hours a week, then that just goes to show, like, you clearly like see a lack in life. You see a lack in life, and you're compensating for it for going to work for all these hours, and you're getting this money to feed what you think you lack, right? When you don't lack anything. You don't lack anything. Everything is here. Everything is in front of you. You're breathing, right? You don't need anything. To an extent, you don't need what you think. You don't need to work 40 hours, even at minimum wage. If Even at minimum wage, you're at 40 hours at minimum wage. That's what, like, I don't know, $320 a week. Okay, so $320 a week, that's like 1,400 a month. Okay, at minimum wage, if you're working 40 hours. Okay, 1,400 a month. If you're not smoking, drinking, smoking weed, smoking cigarettes, drinking, going out to eat, buying things you don't need, you can easily work way less hours than that, easily. So it's all about compensation. The more you work, the more you need to compensate. Same thing with caffeine. You realize that people that aren't living their passion need to constantly stimulate themselves throughout the day. They need that caffeine all day long because it's not their passion, so it's not real energy, it's false energy, and they need to stimulate themselves throughout the day, right? So it all comes down to compensation. So take a day off of work. Take a day off of whatever it may be. If you have kids or something, get a babysitter, whatever. Take a day off of whatever causes you stress, okay? And you'll start to realize that, like, the less you work, the less you need things too. So, and then the more time you have to just be doing this, sitting by the pool, look at just taking in an amazing scene. I don't need anything right now. I don't need anything right now, and therefore I don't need to work as much. Okay, so it comes down to being grateful too, being filled with greatness and appreciating. The more you appreciate, the more you appreciate. The less you appreciate, the more you depreciate. So appreciate everything. Appreciate the fact that you even have water, right? So we get into these addictions, and when we don't have what we think we need, we start to get stressed and go crazy, and it's like, yo, like, we are so lucky to even just be alive, yet alone have water and shelter. And if you're living in America, most likely you got all that. So think of those things and take work off. Take work off. I'm no expert at addiction, but I know I'm getting pretty damn good. I'm getting pretty damn good. I fall in and I fall out of it, but every time I fall into it, I know exactly what I'm doing and I know why I'm doing it. And it's my willpower is just getting stronger and stronger and stronger now, to the point where, and weed was just the last thing for me. I kicked alcohol, no problem. I kicked everything, I kicked everything that was not benefiting me. And um and so, yeah, it comes down to compensation. It comes down to compensation. Take work off, and you'll start to realize on a day off when you have nothing to do. I mean, obviously you don't want nothing to do. You want, plan a day, plan a fun day, go to the beach, spend some money, spend some money. Shit, I mean, you're not spending it on drugs or whatever anyway, so you might as well treat yourself to something, you know and at least it's going to be somewhat beneficial. Like for me, instead of spending all this money on weed, I can go buy organic food or whatever, and then that's going to benefit my health, which in turn is going to make me appreciate more. See, so take a day off of work. You deserve it, yo. You deserve it. I'm gonna keep you guys updated with the addiction. Shit, man. I would love to become maybe an addiction counselor, you know what I mean? Even though I'm still battling it with it myself, but that's what makes it. Why I think I'm so good at it, is because I'm battling with it. I didn't learn any of this shit from books. You better believe I didn't learn. This is solely from experience. So, hit me up if if you need help or whatever. And I'm gonna keep the videos coming, and it's gonna get to the point where I don't even ever think about it anymore. And I'm just gonna start appreciating more and more and more and more. When it comes to my money, my energy, everything's gonna start appreciating. You start to realize how much energy you've just been draining away through your addictions, whether it be through buying the actual drug itself, or taking the drug and then not being able to use your energy, right? Because you smoke weed, it's one thing to buy the weed, but then you buy it and then you have no energy to make money anyway. At least for me, it depends. Like I said, everybody's different, okay? But this doesn't have to do with weed. This has to do with addiction. It always has to do with addiction. There's nothing wrong with weed specifically. It's an herb. It's an herb, just like basil is or something. It's just like basil. But if you wake up every single day and you can't go a day without eating basil, that's a problem. You see what I'm saying? So take a day off. Peace.